What is up, guys? Alright, well, today I'm going to be talking about how I make a lot of money on with photography. That's what we're going to be talking about today, how I make a lot of money with photography. And that mainly consists of reaching out to a bunch of people and talking to them. So I got into photography a while back. I had a friend that was doing it and I was like, man, let's start on this. So from there, that is not a camera. Well, my first entry-level camera, very basic, Nikon D3200. That was the one I went with. Very cheap. I was like, I don't know, probably like $200, maybe a little more whenever I bought it, but now the price has gone like way down. So at the time I was focused more on like nature shots and just trying to figure out how to use the camera, how to use Adobe Lightroom, how to edit and everything. But then I realized, well shoot, I could just use the camera as a means to make money with portrait photography. So I started getting into portrait photography whenever I had a friend that contacted me and they were like, hey, we want to do a shoot, and I was like, bet. So showed up, we did a shoot, and they were like, yo, do you charge anything for your shoots? And I was like, I usually don't, but they were like, heck, we can pay you $20. And so I made $20 off my first shoot, and it was literally just impromptu. I didn't really expect to make any money that day. I was like, oh, I'll just do it. They're some friends of mine, and so I made a little bit of cash. And at the time, I didn't have a whole lot of money. I had like negative $27 in my bank account or something crazy. So I was like, oh, $20, that's freaking awesome. I only have negative $7. From there, I began watching editing videos on YouTube, and then whenever I watched those videos, I was able to consume a lot of information on how to edit photos, and then also I'll watch videos on how to composite photos, how to do photo shoots and stuff, and that really helped me a lot. Started off with this little basic camera, did tons of my shoots with it. I usually shoot with the 50mm 1.4 lens, but you can literally shoot with any lens. You can shoot with this little guy right here. This is a kit lens that they give you, that Nikon provides for you. You don't even have to use Nikon. You can use Canon. The Rebel is one of the cheapest and best-selling cameras that Canon provides. I'm actually filming with a Canon EOS M50 right now. But if you have a little bit of extra cash to spend on this photography, you can always opt to get a prime lens, and you can't zoom or anything, but the aperture is usually much lower and the picture quality comes out much higher. I have one of those on this camera, which is my basic go-to Nikon D750, and this one is probably one of my favorite cameras to shoot with because it's just so quick and everything it does. The only downside with using a smaller camera would be just the efficiency that you have in your shoots, but as you make more money with your shoots, you can always upgrade your camera, upgrade your lenses, upgrade your stuff. Now, the way I reach people, I started reaching people on Instagram. I started my own photography account, took the basis that I already had on my other personal Instagram account, and was like, hey, I'm starting a photography account. People who I did the shoot for the first time, they started telling all their friends. And whenever they told all their friends were like, oh, shoot, let's do a shoot. They said, shoot, let's do a shoot. They said it just like that. But all their friends were like, all right, we want you to do photo shoots for us, and we'll pay you $20. So I was like, okay, heck yeah, another $20. I didn't have a whole lot of cash. And so I started doing these shoots and started touching up my editing skills. And the more shoots I did, the better I got at photography. So if you're sitting there right now and you're stuck and you're like, Brock, what do I do to make money? How do I reach these clients? I don't know anybody. I have no friends. What do I do whenever I get there? Do I just take their picture and act like I know what I'm doing? Well, that's the thing. You need to research it, but also it's important that you actually go out and do it, like I was saying earlier. So you find who your market is. Let's say you want to market to a coffee shop. I don't know. I chose portrait photography. You don't have to choose portrait photography. So you want to market to a coffee shop. Go to a coffee shop and be like, hey, do you guys need any photos for social media. And if they say, yeah, we need photos for social media, how much do you charge? And you say, oh, I charge $40. They'll be like, heck yeah. But if you go out and you go to that same coffee shop or a different coffee shop and then they say, no, get out of here, you ugly person, and they tell you to leave, then okay, whatever. They don't need your business, and you probably don't want to be associated with them. So, back to the point, if you're looking for people to do portraits for, ask your friends. Start off with a basis. Just find some friends. They don't have to pay you. You need a beginning market. You need something you can present on your Instagram, on your photography page that you're creating, on whatever you have, and you want to be able to market that to whoever your consumer is. Let's say you have a friend and his name's Fred. Now you go and you find Fred and you're like, Fred, let's go do some photos. And Fred's like, heck yeah, I need photos. And so you and Fred go out one day and you're like, hey, okay, I'm gonna take some pictures of Fred, and Fred's gonna put them up on his Instagram. Fred puts the photos on his Instagram. He tags you, says, hey, thanks for the awesome photos, whatever your name is, and you puts your tag there, and next thing you know, you got 20 new followers. You got 20 people that are willing to pay money for your photography skills. Now, if your photography skills suck, you're gonna have to do some more free shoots. You're gonna have to figure out your photography before you can really go into the game hard. Try to learn as much as you possibly can before you really go into your shoot. And plus, if you charge low prices, if you charge that $20 price point, pretty much expecting crap for $20. They're like, oh, well, I'm gonna spend $20 on this photographer, and I'm probably not gonna get good content out of it. Well, that's where you have to prove them wrong. You have to show them that you make good content, and then they'll be surprised, and they'll be like, alright, sweet, go follow Brock Kelly Photography. From there, you start your business. There are other ways to create a business like that, but that's just the way I did it, and that's a way that is effective in doing it. You can also market it harder than I did. For me, it was like word of mouth, and that was good for me. So far, it's worked, but at the same time, you don't want to go out too weak and complain about how you don't have any clients and there's no way you can get any clients. Everyone wants pictures in the digital era that we live in right now. Pretty soon I would have like 3 shoots lined up in a week, and they would all be $20, $30, whatever the price set was, and people were like, hey, heck, that's affordable. We can shell out $20 so we have better pictures for Instagram or whatever they were going to use them for. So whenever they did that, it was like, oh, heck yeah, let's do it. We can up our Instagram game a little. By taking that $20 price, I was able to make it affordable for people. But as I've kind of progressed, and I'm still doing this. As I've progressed, it's like, all right, well now I can charge close to $60 or $100 or $40 or whatever per shoot, and people will pay it because they're like, okay, well that's reliable. We know what type of pictures we're gonna get, and you can play around with the market like that and figure out what people are willing to pay. If one person is willing to pay $40 but no higher, and everyone else is willing to pay $70, $80, $90, $100, just go after those $70, $80, $90, $100 clients instead of worrying about that $40 client. You're worth more than that client has like pitted you at. So by doing that, I was able to generate enough money to buy this new camera. Just those shoots like that. The moral of the story is, you can make money on a crappy camera, but after you're done making money on a crappy camera, get a better camera. Then you can be more efficient in your shoots and make more money, have more quality photos, have more quality everything. Most of the quality of the photo is in the lens, so if you're don't upgrade your camera first, always upgrade your lens. So take your crappy camera and buy the nicest lens that can possibly fit on it. It doesn't have to be the nicest that can possibly fit on it, but buy a nice lens and you'll up your photography game so much. You can get high quality results from a low quality camera. Get a basic entry level camera such as the Nikon D3200 or 3300 or 3400, whatever model is in your price range. Get that and you can start your photography game. You have to actually go out there and do. You can't just sit back and do absolutely nothing. If you want to make money off photography, you can't just sit back and do nothing. quote me on that. Now let's get to the third aspect of this, which is going to be editing. And in editing, there are lots of different softwares to edit with. I usually edit with Adobe Lightroom, which is a subscription-based software. I get it with Adobe Photoshop for $9.99 a month. I would recommend getting a subscription, using whatever you can to get one. But if you don't get one, there are other editing options, and I'll include those like in a link below or something. Other editing free software options that you can use in order to up your photography game. Using those softwares, you're gonna have to research it. It's gonna take a couple hours of research, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 12, 100. However good you want to become at using that software, you're gonna have to put time into it. You can't just take the pictures and send them to whoever your client is, because that isn't going to produce good content. Is there anything I'm missing? I don't think there is, but want to say thanks for watching. This will probably be up in the next couple days after I edit it and whatnot. I'm actually going to be starting a series on here in just a couple days. It's going to be a challenge series. Check out my photography page. I'm going to link it, not here, down in the description. I'm going to link it in the description. I'm going to link my regular Instagram in the description, everything. Subscribe to the channel. If you're new here, more quality content coming soon. Stay tuned.